Hi, it's Kathy Mazak, and I am coming live to you today to talk to you about 3 things that you need to write and publish more. So I have been developing kind of my framework as an academic writing coach for a while, and I wanted to share it with you so that you can see what the 3 things, so I thought about like all the ways that I teach academic women how to write and publish more. And I created a framework about it. And so what I did was I kind of sifted through everything I've thought about and everything I've teach people from working with really like hundreds of academic women on their pipelines. And I was like, okay, well, these are the 3 big things that we need to talk about. So I'm going to share my screen with you once I remember how to do that in this program. There we go. Okay, cool. Looks good. All right, so this is the Amplify framework. And so the idea of Amplify here is the word amplify, right, means to make bigger and louder. And that's definitely what we want in terms of our writing and publishing, right? We're making our voices bigger and more impactful. But also Amplify has a little secondary meaning for me. So I live in Puerto Rico. My family's bilingual. And Amplify, there's a Spanish cognate amplio, which means spacious and comfortable. And so the word amplify is chosen so that it also has that meaning to it, which is we want to write and publish more, but we want to do it in a way that feels spacious and comfortable and not like we're just, driving ourselves into the ground. Okay. So what we need in order to accomplish that, amplifying our voices and writing and publishing more are 3 core areas that we need to work on: clarify, demystify, and multiply. And just generally speaking, clarify means getting very, very clear and focused, getting clear about who you are, who you want to be in the world, and how you're going to communicate that through your publications, okay? Demystify is related to this kind of idea that in academia, we are like, it's some kind of big secret how to do all the things. And so we really don't get taught the behind the scenes of how to do the academic work. And this kind of you really feel this kind of lack of training when you move from the PhD into your tenure track job. Hi, Brianna. Thank you for joining. So the demystify part is like, hey, there are best practices. There are ways to do things. Let's share them with each other so that we can do a better job of writing and publishing more in a less stressful way. Okay. And then the multiply part is that once we've created processes and systems, we want to multiply them out across all areas of our writing or all areas of our academic life, so not just writing. And we also want to multiply ourselves and the way that we think about academia. So one of the things that you will hear me talk about a lot is that we are very much against the culture of overwork that permeates academia. This glorification of overwork, this like, if I'm not stressed out and about to break down, I'm doing it wrong. Like, no, we don't want to keep perpetuating that. So there's a couple of things we need to do to stop perpetuating that. One is be better mentors, and also create better communities and hook up in community in a better way. Find those other people who believe the same things and strengthen those bonds and strengthen those groups. So now real life moments. My 4-year-old now wants me to change her diaper while I'm on this live. So, you want to say hi? Go ahead. Hi. Okay. So I'm going to do that because I can multitask. So let me talk a little bit more about the clarify part. Okay, come here. Let me talk a little bit more about the clarify part. So this is the part of academia that we don't usually take the time to do. So we don't, take the time to really think about who we are, who we want to be, and get that really clear. And here's the reason why. The reason why is the culture of overwork, right? It's the message that we get right from our PhD program that says, publish all the things, publish anything, publish, publish, publish. And yes, we want to publish, but we want to do it in a way that that puts out into the world work that is very constant, like is very clear about who we are. And when I say who we are, I mean like, what is your academic brand really? Like, what is this about for you? What kind of work do you do? What kind of populations do you do it for? What's the effect that your work is going to have in the world? So that is reflected here in this framework under Map Your Mission. So that is getting very clear, writing out, actually articulating an academic mission statement, and then mapping out your own milestones in academia that you want to see for yourself, okay? And kind of really trying to break that, it's like feeling married to these milestones that we get handed to us, right? And those are get the PhD, maybe get a postdoc, get the tenure track job, get tenure, maybe go up for full. Okay, so we're trying to instead say like, well, that's not all that there is, and that's not how I'm going to measure. I'm not going to just only measure myself by those milestones. Also in the clarify part, once you have articulated that academic mission and you feel really good about it, you need to have a process for aligning everything that you do behind that academic mission. And so that helps you say no to things. It helps you choose projects that are going to build your academic brand and keep fueling, the work that you're doing and not take away from it. And then we also, like in that clarify part, we also need to have a pipeline strategy. I didn't forget. You're done. You're wiped. You're done. Okay, all done. Okay, go get your underwear and put it on. Okay. It's right there. It's right there. So then you want to make sure too that you have a pipeline strategy so that you know, like, okay, what are the publications where are the publishing, where do we want to be? Who do we want to be in conversation with? What presses, what journals, but also just like how to create a pipeline strategy that's going to put into the world the person you are and be clear about who that is. And let me just speak to all the ways that clarity helps you. So clarity helps you by making your whole academic career feel like it's about one thing instead of feeling like you're pulled in all these directions. It's a process. It doesn't happen one day to the next, but in my programs, I teach people how to go from feeling like they're pulled in 1,000 directions to feeling like everything is about one thing. It also really helps you to not get pulled by by what seem like tempting offers of co-authoring or collaborating, or even just like shiny new objects that you want to try, and keeps you really focused on building that brand and figuring out who you are and then putting who you are out into the world through your publications. This is how we make change. Another thing too about this is that once you have that clarify part really down, you are very, very referable and quotable, and people can refer to you in their work very easily because they say, oh, she's the one who does this, or she's the one who does that, right? And it's very clear and specific about who you are and what you do. And you want that when you're on the job market. You want that whenever you want that all the time, right? Because that makes you citable. Okay. The second part, right, the second important thing is demystify. And just to dig into this a little bit more, the idea of demystifying is that it shouldn't be a big mystery how to get things done. Okay? We shouldn't be afraid to ask. We shouldn't think we're stupid if we ask, like these are kind of burdens that that the culture of academia puts on us, okay? So when we're talking about demystifying, we're like, okay, there's processes, there's things that work. Let's learn what they are so that when we have the clarify, and the demystify together in the Venn diagram, then we're saving time because we're really clear about what we're doing. We're clear about how to do it. That makes everything happen faster. In the demystify part, right, you need to create a writing system that works for you. You need to figure out what is the writing system that's going to be sustainable for you. So it has to be like consistent and sustainable. It can't be something that you do, you aim for consistency, but then you aren't consistent, and then you fall off the wagon. Like, we need to have systems that are self-perpetuating, that make you feel happy and positive about your writing, and not that are, it has to work for you. Brianna says, I have just texted to my boss exactly this. Yes, I have written up my annual progress and found I have done so many random things. Hardly any of it links up, and I feel it takes away from the impact of my research. Brianna, that's exactly right. Like, what happens is you're deluded, as in, like, not deluded, but, not delusional, that you've diluted your impact. And that's happened because the mission wasn't clear, the activities weren't aligned, the pipeline wasn't strategized, and maybe you started to do those things, but it's like a real thing that we feel like we have to publish everything, we have to say yes to everything, because we're so afraid that those opportunities are going to dry up. And that is coming at your academic work from a scarcity mindset. And instead, we want to have an abundance mindset about our academic work, which would say there's more opportunities where this came from. I have to turn this down. Something else better is just around the corner for me. I have plenty of ideas. Okay, so in fact, that reminds me of, in the demystify part, one of the things that we really don't talk about in academia, sometimes we talk about writing mindset, but in general, your mindset, right? Like, how are you approaching the things that you do? And this is a perfect example. Are you approaching your thoughts that are about scarcity? Or are your thoughts that are about abundance and confidence? Because in that abundance is this confidence that, like, I'm making my way, and I can do it, and I have something interesting to say, and I'm going to make an impact on people. And like, that takes a lot of confidence to say, but that's what we need to be building towards. Because if not, what you get is this: I'm just going to take any opportunity that comes along, even if what it does is pull me away from what I really want to be doing. So that's the reset your mindset part in the framework. Thank you, baby girl. And then the other part about demystifying is managing your pipeline. So there are systems and processes for pipeline management. So we need to learn that. Like, nobody talks about that in your PhD program. So that is something that can be taught and can be learned. And then for this last bit about multiplying, like, what we really want to do is take the clarify and the demystify and make sure that when we're mentoring people, we're passing these ideas on. And that is how we make cultural change, because cultural change in institutions is very hard to make from the top down. Cultural change is, by definition, a bottom-up kind of change. And so as you get better as a professor, as you get better in managing your academic life, what we want to do is multiply that out. And we do that through community, and we do that through mentoring, and we do it through mentoring in a way that is not soul-sucking, but is restorative and supportive for you. And then we also make sure we're multiplying out systems, and that, okay, we learned how to do writing systems. Let's make sure we have a system for reading, and let's make sure we have a system for for working with students, and for prepping our teaching, and for all of those things. Because what we want to do is we want to be always reducing the number of choices that you make a day, and systems help us to do that. So when you've clarified your academic mission, and you've thought about and learned how to multiply out the things that you're doing, what happens is you publish more. Okay? And then, thank you for giving me these pants. And then when you, okay, yeah. when you demystify how to get things done, and then you multiply out your impact in the world, you change academic culture, which is my secret rebellious mission with all of this stuff that I'm doing. So let me know what you think about this framework as I put pants on the baby girl. She's not a baby, she's 4, on the big girl. There, she's just the smallest one. So let me know what you think about this framework and see if it helps you. Like, tell me, actually, I would love to have you tag me in the comments and tell me, like, where do you need work? Like, where are the things that what's the first thing that you think you need to concentrate on in order to, to feel like I've mastered all the spokes of this framework? All right, so let me know in the comments, tag me so that I can respond to you. And let me say also like a couple of other things. So if you are interested in mastering all of these spokes of the framework, and you are in a tenure track job right now and pre-tenure. So I know that's a very specific group. I believe this framework is for everyone, but the program that I'm enrolling for right now is called Amplify, the Faculty Writing Accelerator, and it is for this very specific group of academic women. This is where we're starting because also we learn, right, as researchers and writers, we cannot do all the things at the same time. So we are starting with a group that is for pre-tenure women on the tenure track. If that is you, and you want to learn how to master each of the spokes on the framework so that you can live your academic life in a way that's less stressful and you can go up for tenure with confidence. So when you have all of these things figured out, you have your systems, your processes, your community, you know who you are, what you're about, what your academic milestones are, how to manage your pipeline, the going up for tenure process is going to be way less stressful. So in the Amplify program, it's a year-long support program. We work in cohorts of 8 to 10. We are filling those cohorts now, and the program starts the first week of September. So especially if you're going to apply for funding or ask your dean for funding for this program, you need to apply now, and here's the application process. The link is in the description. The application process is a very short type form. You can fill it out on your phone. It's not a big deal. You don't have to write an essay, okay? It just helps us identify people who are a good fit for the program. So you fill out that type form, and then the last thing you see when you submit your type form is a thank you page that asks you to book a 10-minute call. And I have my coaches and my team ready to have a 10-minute call with you. The 10-minute calls happen pretty much Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the longer calls happen with me on Thursday and Friday. So the 10-minute call is just super fast. My team member gets on the phone with you, and asks you kind of like rapid fire questions. And what we can tell from those calls is that then we know whether you're a good fit for the program or not. And it's just like, can we help you or not? Like, is this the right moment for you to take Amplify, or is it not the right moment? Maybe a little later is better. So that this just like really helps us make sure that our cohorts are full of people who have the kind of problems that we solve every day, okay? If you have the 10-minute call, on the call at the end of the 10 minutes, at minute 8, my team member, who is either going to be Rocio, Gina, or Latoya, will say like, yes, we can help you, and here, I want to invite you to schedule a call with Kathy, or no, this isn't the best fit program for you, and we'll tell you. And that way, right? Nobody wastes anybody's time. So then the final step is if you if you apply, do the application form, do the 10-minute call, and everybody feels like, yes, you're a good fit, then they schedule a tenure strategy session for you with me. And the tenure strategy session is a free pretty much like a free coaching session with me, where we do is we identify. I watch the 10-minute call, or I see the notes from the 10-minute call, and we dig into your particular problems. Like, okay, like what exactly is keeping you from writing and publishing more? What are the areas where you need the most work? And then I explain how the features of the program are going to help you. If I think they won't, then I will tell you that too. You know what I mean? So you get on the phone, we identify all your problems. I explain, if you want to listen to me explain how the program helps you, I explain how the program could help you. And then you decide whether you want to enroll in the program or not. Enrollment needs to happen by the end of August. Like we're forming the cohorts, it's on. So the sooner you schedule your 10-year 10 call, the better. And I'm really, really looking forward to talking to you. Brianna, thank you for joining me live. And those of you, like if you have joined me live inside the I Should Be Writing Facebook group, then I can't see your comments here, but I'll go in when I get off this live. And if you haven't joined the I Should Be Writing Facebook group, what are you waiting for? Go join it right now. It's just facebook.com/groups I Should Be Writing. All right, go. If you are even thinking a little bit about Amplify, please apply at the link and I will talk to you soon. Bye.